What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rant. No hate. So, finally got a chance to watch the fight. And I'm going to say, the fight looked a lot like the way I thought it would. Like, you never know what's going to happen. But, like I always say, if things are still the same, it's my assessments come off of the consistency. It's easier to look at a guy that's consistent and pretty much see the way you think things should go. And if you look at it, Usyk, out of all these heavyweights, all of the big names, he's been the only consistent guy. Okay, now, before I get into what he did to Dubois, let's just look at the psychology of it all. This is why when you listen to me talk, okay, listen to me talk. Don't go watch another channel and then think, if you hear saying anything similar, that if you feel different about the outcome of a fight or why, however, that's your business. Whatever I think is my business. What I'm saying is don't twist what I say with what other people say. Because a lot of people will say things and they're speaking as a fan. I'm never speaking as a fan. I'm never speaking as a fan. In fact, give me a second. All right, that's better. All right, do this video. I'm going to take my damn shower. Now, let's go back because I want to build up and get to this fight real quick because I'm not going to say a whole lot about Usyk and Dubois. Now, let's go back to when I said Tyson Fury can walk down Deontay Wilder and beat him because Wilder can't box. Now, all the Wilder fans, oh, but nah, this and that. Oh, man, he can't even punch, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, remember when I said this, Tyson Fury wound up saying the same exact thing because he got dropped and he got up and he starts walking Wilder down. And I told you, Wilder can't box going forward. Wilder depends on catching you and being able, and if he can knock you out, because okay. But other than that, he catch you slipping. But he doesn't know how to set traps. He has no basic boxing fundamentals. He's not consistent with his jab. Okay. So I believe in this. We take away from you what you do good. Okay? Wilder isn't great at anything. And he's not really good at anything. You understand what I'm saying? So now Fury being a much better fighter, take this away. You're bigger, taller, heavier, and better all around. Now, despite people's stupid feelings, you focus on that, then it becomes a debate. I don't do that. So out of all of denying what I said and all of the back and forth banter, just watch. You're going to see who was right and who was wrong. What am I going by? Not what I want to see happen. Not what I'm hoping at. No, what I think is going to happen based on the two caliber of fighters. Okay. Remember, I told you, looking at Tyson Fury's style and how he's been fighting, he's not going to walk other people down like that. He knows he can do it to Wilder. Name one person that Fury walked down since Wilder. None of them. He fought all of them on the back foot, even little Oleksandr Usyk. Now, let's look at Usyk. Notice something. He fought Derek Chisora on the back foot. Derek only knows how to come forward. This was only his second fight back at heavyweight, and because of Chisora's style, he was on the back foot, and let me, see what he brings. Now, look at every fight he had since then. And the thing with Usyk is he understood what he has to do. He understood how to use the lateral movement. You see, Usyk still has his legs. You understand what I'm saying? But he has basic fundamentals. He has all that covered. Now, if you look at it, though, right? I'm going to tell you what it is with Usyk. Usyk is unquestionably the best heavyweight that's out there. The other thing is, these other heavyweights aren't that good. Not to take no credit from Usyk. I give Usyk all the props in the world and the way he carries himself and all of that. Look at Tyson Fury. This dude is 6'9". He's trying to fight dudes in a phone booth, showing off, trying to. He doesn't fight like a big man. Remember how Lennox Lewis used to stand up straight? Right? Lennox Lewis used to keep his hand out here. So when he shoot his jab, he's not doing from way back here. It's already halfway out. So he wasn't using his jab to hurt you. He was using it to score points, keep you at bay, set you up for his power shots. Throw you off, keep your time and your rhythm off. He used the jab for different reasons, but he worked off of the jab, and he stood up tall like a big man. Then it's times he leaned, and you know when Lewis got confident, he started leaning forward, dropping his hands. That's when he know, I got you now. Okay, now look at Lewis is about here to Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury up here. He doesn't know how to consistently just stay behind his jab. He doesn't. He likes to show off. He tries to get in the inside. He got dropped by Francis Ngannou. Do you understand what I'm saying? Usyk is a consummate professional. Usyk used the same strategy with everybody. What's different is, okay, I'm going to do more of this and less of that. I'm going to switch this up, give him a different look. I'm going to keep throwing his timing off. I'm not going to stand in one spot too long. And when you look at him, notice, the one person other than Derek Chisora that he got in the back foot a lot with was Anthony Joshua. But I'm going to tell you the difference. Anthony Joshua didn't look sure of himself. And just like Dubois, a lot of people questioned Anthony Joshua's belief in his own ability. So what happens? I don't think that he's confident. I'm going to come forward. Why is Usyk able to make all these big dudes get on the back foot? Why is Usyk hurting them, but they're not hurting him? With the exception of, AJ did catch him with a good shot in, I think, the 11th round of their second fight. And Dubois did fold his ass with that body shot. It wasn't no low blow, but we ain't going there. Okay, but he did fold him with that body shot. The thing is, when he got up, Usyk took care of business. Do you understand? Now, let's look at tonight, for example. First round, I'm watching Dubois look aggressive. He's coming out trying to, bring the pressure, but he's still doing it in a way where I'm looking at him and it's like I'm calling his bluff. As soon as Usyk hit him with a clean shot, what does he do? He retreats. And I'm looking at Dubois, Teddy Atlas, Roy Jones, who else spoke about it? Everybody that spoke about Andre Ward, all of them. Well, I think he's better. He won 3 straight fights in a row, and he's a different fighter now. I didn't see him as a different fighter. I'm going to tell you what I saw even when he fought AJ. Understand his energy. You can't intimidate me. And he's the one trying to intimidate AJ. But Anthony Joshua, even in conversation, when they said, how do you beat Dubois? AJ says, well, it's not going to be just power alone, Right? That answer right there. Wrong answer, AJ. Simple. How do you beat Dubois? Tune in Fight Night and see. You understand what I'm saying? Wrong answer. He's thinking it's not going to be power alone. I have to use all my skills and just eat all of that. A lot of people don't get it. I'm reading AJ and I'm like, okay. Now what happens? Very first round, where's AJ's hands? Down here. AJ not one of them slippery motherfuckers who can slip with his hand. He's not one of them dudes. Hands is here. He felt Dubois' full power early. He got hit with shots that he shouldn't have got hit with because he kind of froze once Dubois put that pressure on him. And why did Dubois feel comfortable doing it? Because he can sense AJ wasn't comfortable. AJ just wasn't confident. And what was AJ doing? The same thing he did when he fought Usyk. I tell you, look at how he was snapping his jab against Wallin. Look how he was snapping his jab against Ngannou. Why was he fighting Dubois doing this shit? The same shit he did with Usyk, because he wasn't confident. Now, when I said we don't have to use our imaginations of what might have happened if AJ didn't get knocked out when he did, because the results are the results. I said, but AJ did nothing to really test Dubois. So we don't really know that he's a changed fighter. And when I look at who he beat, Jarrell Miller, really? And I forget the other guys' names, but you know, the same dude that fought, beat Zhang. And I'm like, all right, this isn't about taking credit away. He did what he did. I don't think much of those heavyweights he beat. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in him beating them, okay, great that you won. Usyk is a different animal. And one of the things that people don't pay attention to, before AJ got knocked out, Daniel Dubois was winning. He was dominating, right? AJ caught him with a shot. He hurt Dubois, and Dubois immediately retreated. Now, not that that's a bad thing, that he was, okay, let me get my hit right. But then AJ comes in like an amateur, leaning over, and threw a fucking uppercut that you could fucking time, and he got countered. So my point when I seen that was, if you notice with him, when he gets hit flush, he retreats. So the point what I'm saying is, Daniel Dubois gives off this rugged, I'm here to brawl. No, he's really not. I've seen him do that with people in the past. But as he steps up in competition, right, certain things are not as easy to do, okay, with certain fighters. There are no great heavyweights out there other than Usyk. Tyson Fury is good to me. He's not great to me because he's too fucking big to fight the way he does. You fight to your strengths. Imagine Mike Tyson having that kind of hand speed and power, but he's there trying to fight you with finesse. It's like, what are you doing? You understand what I'm saying? What we said about people like Meldrick Taylor, Tim Bradley, they tried to fight like they was one-punch knockout artists, and they made fights harder for themselves. Fight to your strengths. There's no way that you're this tall, and you fighting a dude this tall, and you're fighting him this close. No way. So all of the talking and trying to psych Usyk out and trying to make Usyk, trying to intimidate him, it didn't work. And I could see Tyson Fury was not confident. Was I wrong, y'all? And I told y'all, I think Usyk beats everybody. Now, a focused Anthony Joshua, right? I pick him to beat everybody. A focused Anthony Joshua. AJ is not consistent. So how can I fucking tell you I think if they fight again, he'll win? Yeah, if he's focused and have that dog in him that he needs through the duration of a fight, can you be smart? But this is the thing I don't know. AJ start getting tagged. He gets hit. And, can he take the punch anymore? Does he have the sense to know what to do? Does his experience kick in? Because he looks wishy-washy to me. You understand what I'm saying? So who is the heavyweight I like more than everybody in the heavyweight division as a fighter? AJ. But he can't beat Usyk. Right? Terry Norris effect. A focused Terry Norris damn near beat anybody. In his way. But can we say when that focused Terry Norris is not going to show up? No. So it's always so my thing about picking and choosing who you want to win, like everybody's now talking about greatest of all time. I don't believe in that greatest of all time shit. It's 2025, okay? 2035, 2040, they'll be trying to find somebody that they're saying is better than Usyk. I don't care about that. The focus is who's in front of you. And honestly, unless you're doing this for fun, who you think was better, this type of thing, to be honest with you, this is part of what kills sports. This is part of what just kills the fun aspect of things, and there's no camaraderie, because as soon as you start to give credit or props to one person, somebody else want to try to talk shit about that person because they want everybody to agree with them that this person is just better than everybody. Who really gives a fuck? None of us can prove who can beat who because they're never going to fight each other. People are dead, people are old and retired, whatever, so it really makes no fucking difference. The human ego, think about it. Usyk never calls himself the greatest or even say, I'm a great fighter. I'm nothing. He just wants to fight. That's my focus. Let's see a great fight. Usyk is the best heavyweight of his era. And guess what? One day, he won't be here anymore. And it'll be somebody else. Will that person be better than what Usyk is? It'll be subjective. It'll be opinions. People will say yes. People will say no. Who really gives a fuck? That's how I see it. Now, already people are talking about him and Joseph Parker, and it's like, listen, the way Usyk looked tonight, he still got a lot left in the tank. Now, the thing about Father Time is you understand what I mean? But he doesn't have to fight Joseph Parker. The thing about Joseph Parker, man, is he's been ducked and overlooked. He's been pushed aside. He's been pushed aside and done dirty because he's been winning fights, and all of a sudden, fighters that he's beat, you're trying to give the opportunities to the loser of the fights. So, on one hand, if he did fight Joseph Parker, it's like great that Joseph finally gets his shot. It would be nice to see Usyk retire undefeated, man. The type of career he's had and the type of person that he is and what he brings to the sport, man. It would be nice to see that. At the same time, be honest with you, man. Now, it would be cool if AJ could recapture the heavyweight championship, but if he can't, he can't. But if he can't, it would be cool to see Joseph Parker do it. At least get the shot to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So, honestly, if there's any one person out there that if he's going to stick around and fight, to me, I say it would be cool if it was Joseph Parker, because I feel like if anybody deserves a shot, it's Joseph Parker. Okay. The reality, though, is this. He doesn't need Joseph Parker. He doesn't need anybody else. It's all about if he just wants to continue to fight. I think Daniel Dubois' stock goes down. And let me say this. See, Usyk's skill level expose things in fighters that these other fighters may not expose in them. You understand what I'm saying? If Anthony Joshua, and more than likely he did watch that fight, if he watched that fight, he should be kicking himself up the ass like, I got knocked out in 5 rounds by this dude. Because why? Now, I know AJ just had a surgery on his elbow a couple of weeks ago, whatever, however early in the month, whatever it was, but regardless to whatever happened, let me say, there was a time AJ showed you, I don't have to talk shit. I go in the ring and handle it the same way Usyk is, right? Usyk goes in there, he just handles it. The only consistent heavyweight out there is Usyk. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what I think Anthony Joshua is going to do. I don't know that. He might be washed. He might not be washed. He might come back and do. I don't know. But what I'm going to tell you is this. Anthony Joshua's mentality give his opponents confidence that they can beat him because of the way sometimes it just shows he just doesn't look confident. Then there's times he does look confident. I don't know what's going on with Anthony Joshua. I don't. So, as the way I see it, the Dillian Whites, the Wilders, Joseph Parker's still there. But these guys are on their way out. We haven't heard a peep out of Andy Ruiz. Moses Atama is a guy, I look at him, and I feel like if he stays focused, man, at least, you never know. Because we see Frank Sanchez was looking like he was that guy at one point. He got 1 loss. I don't know if he fought again since then. I don't remember hearing anything about him. But, and it can happen. But Moses Atama right now is looking like the most promising guy out there on the come up. And if he does, I don't know. I heard some talks about him supposed to be fighting Dillian White. If he does fight Dillian White, now people talking about Dillian got the experience and Dillian this. I think he beats the living shit out of Dillian White. Now, what happens if he fights Dillian and then Dillian beats him? You understand what I'm saying? So if Moses Atama is as good as he's been looking when he steps up in competition, then that's how we know. You see what I mean? So that's why you hear me say the way it looks as of now is because you just never know, man. Floyd Mayweather was consistent. Usyk is consistent. Holyfield was consistent, but he did have losses, but only to tough guys. He didn't lose to no poo-putts. You understand what I mean? And this is where, when I'm looking at Usyk, man, and like I said, you can't take nothing from him, but he is a great fighter in a weak-ass division. because these fighters do not fight the way they're supposed to. They just don't. When you see Anthony Joshua snap his jab and throw them quick, crisp combinations, he's confident, he's focused, he's locked in. When he's pouring with his jab and got that stupid, scared look on his face, he's not locked in. And we don't know which Anthony Joshua is going to show up. Now, with all that being said, you don't want to see the next champion is just an excuse of a champion because Usyk let the belts go and retire. But who are you looking at? It's not like we can, no matter who you want to see win, who out there really wants to be champion? Of course, they want to make their money. All of them do. But who really wants to be champion? Which one of them out there is like, no, I'm going to seize the moment. I'm going to be that guy. You know, now, I'm not looking at a guy going, can you surpass Usyk? Can you surpass Muhammad Ali? Nope. I'm looking at the next person going, let me see what you bring to the table. Let's get these fights in. That's how I look at things. But this whole talk about who's this and who's that and who's, I'm not focused, y'all. It doesn't matter. Fantasy fights is just for fun. All this other shit does not matter. And we always find people trying to discredit others to try to make a point. And also, let me just say this real quick. This is my channel, and I make what the fuck I want. And if you don't like it, don't leave stupid comments. Just don't watch my shit. Real simple. Now, so anyways, Usyk just showed he's that guy. Now, it's funny because now a lot of y'all are playing catch up. Because a lot of y'all was sitting there talking about Fury. Oh, Fury's the greatest of life. I'm like, man, whatever, man. And I told y'all, I don't see Fury the way y'all do. I see holes in his game. And what I see is a guy fighting in a division of fighters that's just not all of that good. Y'all looking at the accomplishments. But when you do and make these accomplishments in a weak-ass era, okay, in fairness, as long as you're fighting the best fighters out there, you're doing your best, okay, that's what I can give you. But the eye test shows me these fighters are flawed. And Usyk is so much more better than these guys. Just look at Fury's size. And look at how Usyk had him on the back foot. Anthony Joshua didn't walk him down. None of them walked him down. Stylistically, because of the way Derek Chisora fights, and like I said, and this was him coming back up and trying to be careful, cool. But at the end of the day, that's the only heavyweight that had him on the back foot. The rest of them, he's walking them down. He felt confident that he could stand in front of Anthony Joshua. Fury felt confident he can walk down Deontay Wilder. He didn't feel confident he could walk down Dillian White. And nobody else that he's fought after Wilder. Usyk, like I said, knows how to switch up, when to switch up, and what to do. And also, let me just say, I've seen him throwing jabs to Dubois' body. I've seen him mixing up, going up. Sometimes he'd feint, don't throw nothing. He'd do the same feint, then throw something. He steps around, he moves. Usyk got caught. Dubois hit him with a nice body shot, right? And he did this like it was low. And I started laughing because I'm like, right. But you know, as soon as he landed that body shot, Usyk started lighting his ass up. So Usyk wanted him to know, I'm going to give you a flashback of last time when you hit my ass in the body like that, right? And didn't finish me. And he starts tearing Dubois up. And I'm noticing, like I said, as soon as Dubois get hit flush, retreat. I said, okay. And when I watched that, I already knew that he had won because my cousin called me. He's like, yeah, he texted me rather. It's like, yo, Dubois just lost, right? He got stopped. So I texted back like, all right, I'm gonna check it later. Good looking. That was that. So I watched the fight, and y'all saw the video about fight. It was like 5:29. I was like, I didn't even remember the fight was today. I didn't even remember it was today. And then I'm like, my cousin was like, yo, you checking out the fight? I said, which one? I didn't even remember that Pacquiao and Barrios was tonight. I wasn't even thinking about none of that stuff, you know. But anyways, So I dropped a little video, let y'all know what I think. I didn't even know that the fight was on, man. So when I dropped that video, that was before he got knocked the fuck out. I didn't even know nothing about the fight. What was, cuz just asked me, was I watching it? And I was like, nah, and I was actually like getting ready to work out and stuff. So I'm here setting things up. I just, had a protein shake and shit. But look, man, you can't deny nothing about Usyk's skill level. But like I said, man, he's so much better than these guys, and he's doing what he's supposed to do. He fights the way he's supposed to. Fury doesn't fight the way he's supposed to. AJ doesn't fight the way he's supposed to. Wilder doesn't either. And Wilder just fights, none of them. They just don't fight the way they're supposed to. Joseph Parker is tough. He come to fight. And I just respect Joseph Parker as a fighter, man. Like, because he goes in there, he wants to fight. So if he lose, he lose. But, he's not afraid to get in there and mix it up. Zhang is a good fighter. Zhang got good skills. Zhang just has a problem with his gas tank. And when you just look around at F.A. Joggers, he's just not evolving. He's not becoming a better fighter. What happened to Frank Sanchez? I don't know. Hell, was it yesterday? I seen Michael Hunter standing in next to Derek Chisora telling him he's getting ready to fight Pulev. And I forgot who he said after Pulev, but it was I'm just like, damn, Michael Hunter still fight, And remember, he fought Usyk back in the day. So Usyk is a guy that got better with time and was still able to sustain a high level of boxing, man. So now you see the point. What I'm saying is, a guy like Dubois has a chance to beat an AJ. He did. He can knock out a Deontay Wilder. I told y'all, I'm not sure that Dubois beats Parker. Remember I said that. I'm not sure that he beats him. You got to show us. So now you see what I'm saying. He picked Usyk because they was afraid of losing. Because if they lose to Parker, the Usyk fight's off the table. So Don Charles and his dad, Don Charles talk a lot of shit, and I told you the reason they keep talking about the low blow, I'm being cheated because that wasn't a low blow. They act like that's the only thing that happened in that fight was a low blow. They don't talk about nothing else. Usyk was winning that fight. But like I said, he did get folded like a fucking accordion, man, But they kept talking about it, kept bringing it up. It's very similar to Amanda Serrano cannot make a video without talking about headbutt. Like, bottom line, she went down 0-3 against Katie Taylor because she knew there was nothing else that she could do. Now, other than trying to get a knockout against Usyk, what was Daniel Dubois going to do? Outbox Usyk? How? He doesn't have those type of skills to outbox Usyk. So, yeah, crying. I'm getting my chance, but crying. That's a sign of weakness. A lot of y'all probably don't understand my way of thinking, but all of y'all come in the fucking comment section and say, damn, you was right. Yo, you called it. I don't say shit just to say it. I'm an observer, and I've been through and dealt with a lot of the shit and understand how shit goes. I understand physicality as well. It's like I told y'all about Tank Little Ass. I'm like, he understands physicality, man. Y'all don't get it. He's fast on his feet, and he can tell when he's breaking you down. He can see that shit, right? And you see the way his fights was going. Now, underestimating Lamont Roach came back and haunted him, you see. But at the same time, this is my point. Once you become complacent and get used to doing things the same way and it doesn't work, now what else can you switch up and do? You see the point what I'm saying? And Usyk, man, these heavyweights that's out there, only thing that would beat Usyk right now is Father Time, man. I don't think Moses Atama beats Usyk. If he catch him and Usyk slips, then yeah. But Usyk right now, I don't see them beating him. And I don't see a reason for him to fight Moses Atama. Not because I'm worried. I ain't worried about none of it. If he lost, he just lost. But because really, at where he is right now, for what? And if he beats Moses Atama, which I believe he would, what they going to say about it? Yeah, but Moses Atama is a prospect. Yes, exactly. So, if it's not Joseph Parker, I don't see a reason for anybody else, to be honest. I really don't. I mean, of course, he has the right to fight as long as he wants to. But like I said, it would be cool to see that dude ride off into the sunset, man, undefeated, because Usyk, I feel like he's the type of dude I could respect, man, and appreciate, what he does in the ring, man. Like I said, all that blah 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 don't mean nothing. Usyk is about it, and he goes in there and he fights. And the thing is, he got that dog in him. That, isn't it funny? Everybody talk about how strong Dubois is. See, they look at, yeah, oh my God, he looks bigger than AJ. He looks strong, right? All of this shit. He knocks out AJ. All of a sudden, y'all think he's a wrecking ball now. All that shit. He's pretending how he was so pissed off that he didn't fight Joseph Parker, right? How is it that the guy that's smaller, the guy that's supposed to be not as strong, is knocking these motherfuckers up? He dropped Fury, let's be real. And he stopped Dubois twice. So for all the people that got hyped up, hearing Teddy Atlas and all them tell you Dubois is a better fighter than he was before, he's more focused, his experience is better, and he thought, yeah, Teddy Atlas picked Dubois to win. Usyk, you think, his age, father time, and yeah. And like I said, if it's not a father time situation, and he don't just go in and do some careless, dumb shit, he should win. And I think he even stops Dubois. Did I not tell y'all that in the short video? Now, I'm just letting you guys know, I don't speak off of bias. And he stopped dude. Dropped him twice, huh? I said, wow. I'm that kind of person. Don't tell me what happened if I didn't see it yet, because I want to see it for myself. Don't ruin it for me. But yeah, dropped him twice. And also, see, and let me explain how he exposed people. AJ didn't really put up too much of a fight with Dubois. He tried, but he was just doing it in a careless way and doing sloppy shit and not really calculated shit. You see, when Dubois was trying to move his head and everything, you know what Usyk was doing? Usyk was giving him angles in different ranges to where now Dubois is trying to get his power behind his shot. So he's leaning forward. Chin over his knee, chin over his toe. That's how he got caught the first shot that dropped him. Leaning forward, coming in. Because now he's exposing. Okay, keep on leaning. Because now when he's coming in throwing his shots, Usyk come over top, bow, catch him, pop him with the jab, moving. And when he's throwing punches, and Usyk is always moving his hands and feinting and everything, so he makes you uncomfortable to throw shots. And you have to keep resetting and trying to plant your feet to catch up to him, because he moves and then switch up on you. You don't know what he's going to do. You understand what I'm saying? And so what ends up happening is, to try to catch him, you're trying to get closer to him. So being that Dubois don't have the footwork, what is he trying to do to get closer? In other words, here, if my hand is here and my feet can't catch up to here, how do I get closer? You understand what I'm saying? And that's what he did wrong. And this is what I'm telling you. Usyk exposed. He showed you whether he was paying attention or not. Tyson Fury doesn't know how to stay behind his jab. He doesn't have the stamina to really throw a whole lot of punches. That's why when you guys are talking about how Deontay Wilder and Fury, when you talk about, these guys had a war, man, it wasn't even a whole lot of punches thrown those fights. I'm like, what the fuck fight was y'all watching? This is nothing but Wilder and Fury fans trying to make them look like they're better than what they were. And basically, I mean, the numbers were low, man. They wasn't throwing a lot of punches per round. That's bullshit. And I told you, Fury don't have that kind of gas tank. He can't outwork Usyk. And if Usyk make him fight more than he wants to, and that's even by putting pressure, you don't have to throw 80 punches around. But the movement, the getting in and making the motherfucker flinch all the time and constantly trying to counter and can't, and mental fatigue, all of that. And he showed you, this big motherfucker don't know how to use his height or his reach. But if y'all not paying attention because the commentators are glazing this motherfucker, the commentators are trying to tell you this and that and whatever, and predictions are coming from people that you think know everything. And I heard Teddy Atlas talking that shit, talking about Dubois is a better fighter now. He's focused, he's hungry, he's big, he's strong. I'm like, we don't know what Dubois is going to do if he gets tested, because when you get knockouts, it's like Mike Tyson saying, I can dish it out, but I don't know if I could have took it. Okay, and this is what I'm saying. When have we seen him in a firefight with a real, competitor? And like when he fought Joe Joyce, he couldn't get past the jab. You understand what I'm saying? He couldn't get past the jab. And we know what happened. He got stopped. Now, I'm willing to guarantee you, and listen to me, on my dead mama, I haven't watched any videos about anybody talking about anything. All I did was watch the fight. I'm willing to bet you tomorrow. Now, I want y'all to come back to the same video and comment in the comment section. If you see this, okay, trust me, people are going to say, Daniel Dubois quit. He gave up. He started fighting stupidly. He quit. It was just like, fuck it, man. I'm going to go for broke, man. He quit. They're going to tell you he could have got up. You understand what I'm saying? You hear me say, Usyk exposed things in fighters that the other so-called elite fighters of this generation and the heavyweights is not bringing out of each other. And that's what I'm telling you. When I tell you Fury he's not fleet of foot anymore. He can't move like he used to. So he adapted a different style, right? And that's that trying to stand there and put his weight on you, try to push you out and club you with shots and put his weight on you and all that type of shit, right? But what happens when he fight other fighters? He's on the back foot just moving, but he doesn't have the footwork. You understand what I'm saying? So he's leaning back, and because he's so tall, he can lean out of position. But see, a guy like Usyk with the movement and the angles, he makes Fury get tired quicker than he wants to, and he makes Fury uncomfortable because now I got to fight more. I got to be careful of not getting caught with shit. I don't know if he's going to punch or feint. I don't know. All of these things. If a punch is coming behind that feint, he doesn't give you a chance to rethink. You understand what I mean? So why are you bigger, stronger guys fighting little Usyk on the back foot? You guys call him little. You guys call him a middleweight. You guys say he's not a real heavyweight, right? So why are y'all the ones on the back foot, not Usyk? You understand? His skill level, his thinking brain, he knows how to make these guys uncomfortable, and he knows how to keep himself off that center line. He moves his head, but he keeps his body away. And he'll get his body in a position where he's no longer in front of you, but this punch is coming at you. So yeah, man, he's the best of the heavyweights, man. And one of the things, and like my thing is, if a fighter lose, you just lose. I don't lose no sleep, Usyk or whoever. Well, thing that I think would be a real fucked up scenario is if he sticks around and then Father Time gets him, because that's a problem he'll have, and his opponent has nothing to do with it. And then I, for one, can't make excuses and say, well, he got old weight. Well, hey, man, you got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him. It's as simple as that. And we don't have to, from this time to this time, or he was in his prime. Here's a dude, how old is Usyk? 38 years old. And you motherfuckers are sitting there talking about Sugar Ray Leonard was old when he lost at 34. Roy Jones talking about Floyd beat Oscar when he was old. You know how old Oscar was? 34. You know how old Floyd was? 30. Everything was there when they were old. When Roy got his ass bust by Tarver, how old was he? 36. How old was Tarver? 36. Terrence Crawford is rated pound for pound best fighter. How old is he? 37. But yet, all these other fighters were old. All these other fighters were old. Because your favorites lost. The guys that were supposed to win didn't win. Oh, it's because they were old, right? But now you got two guys that's older than all of them. 3 or 4 years older than them, yet they're old. Come on, man. Look at Zhang. One thing about him, he will get in there and fight. The problem with Zhang is his gas tank, and we know that. And that's the thing, is Zhang can actually box, but he just don't have the gas tank. So, hey man, we talking about consistency. We talking about somebody dedicated to the craft. So you can't slight Usyk at all. And the thing is, even in me telling you, yes, these heavyweights are weak. I don't give a fuck how many names. You can sit here and name everybody. Those dudes, and I told you this years ago, I don't see this generation of heavyweights. being able, look, I told you, Ike Ibeabuchi was never champion. I think he'll destroy all these dudes. The only heavyweight out there, the only one that I see, and I feel would have been able to, hold his own against a lot of them dudes, a whole lot of them, is Usyk. AJ, Fury, all them, no. Y'all be the fool, man. Even when he fought against Klitschko, I don't know what it was that night, because Fury did nothing but run basically, and Usyk, Klitschko didn't cut off the ring, he didn't do much of anything either. But like the last round or two, he started putting on Tyson Fury's ass. He was like, where was this earlier? And then, Klitschko never got the rematch because, Tyson Fury retired and started talking all, wanting to commit suicide and depression and all, or whatever. But, so we don't know what would have happened. And we see, even the night when Klitschko fought AJ, Klitschko came to fight that night. You understand what I mean? Fury didn't do nothing special. He did was ran around the ring all night long. He barely threw any punches. Go look at the punch stats. So yeah, and while you at it, look at the punch stats with him and Wilder in every fight, and you will see there was not a whole lot of punches being thrown per round. But yeah, man, David Tua, guys that was never world champion, man, they would fuck these fighters up, man. And it would have been a different experience for Usyk because he ain't going back up Ike Ibeabuchi. And taking them dudes was different, man. Those guys were different. But Usyk, I put Usyk. It's not about a category or put him in. I'm saying I put Usyk in a higher bracket than all these dudes. Like he's just much better. And this is the thing. If you look at him and Fury, and I use Fury the most because Fury, I would have to say, is the second best fighter. I still think if AJ would actually find his fucking self, he beat Tyson Fury. But that's the thing. I don't know what AJ gonna show up. Okay, AJ just he's too wishy-washy. Like I said, this motherfucker can't never just show the confidence in like he's So fuck who's number 2 and 3. Let me just say this: Usyk is better than all of them. And the fact that Tyson Fury was getting so much praise is because you motherfuckers don't remember what a real fighter looked like anymore. And there's no way for you to be that fucking tall, that fucking big, and people telling you Usyk's too small because Fury told you he was too small. They told you Ali would have been too small. They told you Foreman, all of them would have been too small. Somehow Usyk wasn't. Small ain't got nothing to do with it. Skills pay the bills, and Usyk got the skills. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's not just the accomplishments with Usyk, it's the skill level, the dedication. You understand what I mean? That's Usyk, man. And there's only one Usyk out there right now. And like I said, it would be nice to see him retire undefeated. But, we'll see how things go. And salute to him, man. I told y'all I hope that he beat the shit out of Dubois because Dubois had got really cocky, really arrogant. And, it's like, yo, you're not as good as you trying to make it sound like you are. And, Don Charles promised how he was going to knock Usyk out. He was going to destroy Usyk, and Usyk is scared because he knows he hurt him with their bodies. All this stuff. I'm like, the only people scared are the ones doing all this talking. Usyk ain't worried about that shit. So y'all think that shit talking sells fights. Y'all think that all these pointing the finger and complaining and bitching like that's entertaining. Nah, Usyk don't need to do that. He go in the ring and make you look stupid. So yeah, I'm glad that he whooped Daniel Dubois' ass. I like Dubois as a fighter and always did, but he started becoming annoying to listen to ever since he got his little run, his little 3-fight winning streak and all, and then it's like all of a sudden no more humble Dubois. All of a sudden now, I'm this killer in the ring. I'm there. Nah. And Usyk showed you. I told you guys. Remember when I asked y'all some months ago, can we really say that we really believe in Dubois? Like he's that guy. Like dude, it's like he act like he's a little slow, and I'm listening to him talk. It's just like I don't, I can't really say that about Dubois. I didn't feel that about Dubois. I didn't feel like he's that guy. Nobody's gonna beat this dude until Father Time kicks in, and I never seen him like that. I liked him as a fighter, and I was, rooting for him when he won his three fights and all or whatever. Now when he fought AJ, I wasn't rooting for him to beat AJ, but at the same time, AJ looked like he was back. Then he went in there and fought stupidly, But even that press conference, like I said, that wasn't a press conference. It was like there was a face off, and then they asked him, "How do you beat Dubois?" He gave that lame ass answer. And I was like, see, wrong answer. And like I said, a lot of y'all might not get it. But then when you see the results, yeah, just understand, I know what I'm looking at and listening to. And, yeah, man, Usyk is that guy. And the thing about it is once he steps down, who's the next guy? I don't know. I don't know. Who you want to win is not always going to win. And like I said, I look at the consistency and I look at how bad you want the fights. And the one thing about Usyk is, yeah, the money should be right. He earned it. But Usyk is about that action, man. He's about that action. He's not near talking like he's unsure of himself. He's not near, this stuff about I'm seeing that Turkey Al-Sheikh and Jake Paul have agreed to fight Anthony Joshua. And I'm shaking my head like, yeah, okay. AJ is trying to get that bag. And in all honesty, man, if you're willing to fight Jake Paul, you need to destroy Jake Paul. This shouldn't be competitive. Jake Paul is still green. And the fact is, money-wise, he's expecting a big payday. And if Jake Paul is confident that he can beat Anthony Joshua, he must not really see much in Anthony Joshua. I'm just being real with you. I'm just being real. Jake Paul is very green. And I can't fault AJ because this is what all these motherfuckers are doing, just trying to get the biggest bag. But when I look at that, I say, you should want to fight a motherfucker that's worth a damn. And that's all AJ's ever done was fight the top dudes. But I'm not intrigued and have no interest in watching Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. I'm just not. Now, if Jake Paul was actually fighting, if it actually happens, remember he was supposed to claim he's going to fight Daniel Dubois, and I told you, no, he's not. Jake Paul is shit. I don't care what nobody says. He's shit. I think if anything, he'll probably end up fighting on Roy Jones or some shit like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not into this kind of shit, man. And when it's about that money grab shit, man, you might not be as determined as you should be. And if you go in there and there's no way Jake Paul should even put up a good fight against Anthony Joshua, in all honesty. And the fact that people think so is, one, they don't boxing, they don't understand boxing, and two, Anthony Joshua give people the impression that, hey, because I've heard this before, that it'll be a good fight, Jake Paul versus AJ. And I heard that like 3 years ago, and I'm like, damn. And this is when this motherfucker had like 8 fights or some shit. I'm like, wow. So, on that note, y'all, once again, Usyk got it done. And also, let me add this point. Now, for the Teddy Atlases and all these people that y'all like to call experts, y'all notice every time we meet, every time we have a different opinion, you notice they're always wrong? Or y'all not keeping score on that? Every one of these motherfuckers that I'm saying I think is going to win, like I said, shit can happen. I'm just going by the skills. So here, if Dubois is a better fighter, more confident, more accomplished than what he was before the first fight with Usyk, like they tried to tell you, then why is he lasted longer in the first fight than he did tonight? Make that make sense. Because Usyk didn't get better. Usyk just been able to maintain and sustain that same high level. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? It took me 8 last time. Now it took me 5 because he's so much improved as such a better fighter. Y'all hear these motherfuckers say something, and y'all have such a high level of respect for their opinions. Okay? That's all they are, is opinions. Your predictions are nothing but your opinions. Yeah, Aries keep fucking nailing it, and these motherfuckers keep striking the fuck out, but y'all don't understand this. And I go out my way to make videos to expose the truth. And like I said before, don't come on my fucking channel telling me what the fuck I'm gonna talk about. Go skip that shit and walk and go watch somebody else shit. That's all. I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. You ain't gonna come and disrespect me and tell me the fuck I'm gonna talk about. But y'all rather talk and have these little drama sessions. Nah, I show you what's real and what's not real. And that's what it is. And when I picked Usyk to beat Fury, Teddy Atlas and all them told y'all different. Teddy Atlas told y'all that Tyson Fury was the greatest heavyweight of all time and all that. Y'all ate all that shit up, right? Okay. But y'all keep calling these motherfuckers experts. And instead of understanding where I'm coming from, you waiting for me to be wrong. Want to prove me wrong by telling you the truth. That's a fallacy on your behalf, not mine. Ignorance is ignorance. I ain't worried about no prediction being wrong. What's going to happen to me because if I predict something wrong? The thing that I'm telling y'all, there's no blueprint. And I'm not following, well, usually this and that. No, I go by the two fighters. Simple. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings together people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.